What is up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde here. Another live stream, pre-workout live stream as I get ready for Friday's workout. And just a little bit of a rant here, guys. First off, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Let's get that number up as we come up towards some really important and tough games for the Eagles the next couple weeks. I mean, I don't have to tell any Eagle fans, how big the Steelers game is. I think that's, if there's anyone that we're going to win the next couple weeks, I think the Steelers are probably the best chance. Look, I saw the injury report today. I'm really tired of all week long, last week you see Alshon Jeffrey in individual drills. He looks great. You see them, him and Desean practicing this week, not full but limited, but still looking pretty good. Alshon has some kind of undisclosed illness. It's not COVID related, according to Doug Peterson. He's already ruled out. I heard that Deshaun Jackson had a chance of playing. He's ruled out as well. It's just, man, it's exhausting, and it's just like last year all over again, especially with the Deshaun Jackson stuff. I just, I don't understand why not put Alshon Jeffrey on the pup. This is already now 5 weeks where he's not going to be playing. It's a roster spot that you could have used on somebody. I mean, it just goes back on this team's roster management. I think it's just been absolutely horrible the past couple years. Again, Alshon is still not ready. You don't have, again, it's just wasted space. The same thing with Deshaun Jackson. Look, I came into this year, and if you go back and you look at some of the videos from the offseason, I came into this year really excited about Deshaun. I thought he had something to prove. I thought last year, having that injury in game 2 was really unfortunate. And then getting the bad medical advice, not having surgery, getting hurt again in the Bears game, and then being out the rest of the year. And of course, the Eagles not beating Seattle, so he didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs. I thought he'd come in with a chip on his shoulder, healthier than ever. You saw the workout videos during the offseason. I mean, everything was trending upward for this guy. He had that social media gaffe that was just horrible. You're thinking he's going to get over that. What's going on, Linnell? Yeah, you're right. He hasn't played. And I didn't expect Deshaun to have a whole 16-game season. Don't get me wrong. I think anybody thinking that Deshaun was going to play all 16 games is kidding themselves. I figured it'd be a hamstring because he's a speed guy. He's older. You know what I mean? You're going to tweak your hamstring more than most likely, and he has in the past. But man, it's just crazy to me. I mean, how earlier in the week it's told that he might play, and then he's still out. And the Alshon thing, it is just absolute. It just frustrates the hell out of me that, you go into a big game and you're throwing to Travis Fulgham and you're throwing to John Hightower and Deontay Burnett. I mean, it's just maddening. It just really, really is. I mean, I haven't heard any word on Quez Watkins, if he's going to be activated or not. Again, and if he is, he's a rookie and a late-round rookie, so how much can you really expect from him? It's just been a frustrating week for the Eagles. Again, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Definitely trying to get that number up. Another thing that's really annoyed me, and it's annoyed me all season, it annoyed me last season. I've talked about it. I talked about it in my last video from last night. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit on it again. Nate Gerry, man. I can't. I don't know how many more Sundays I can look at this guy on the field. I just can't. The Eagles, the Eagle fans want Nate Gerry out. Yeah, you're right. If we win 8 more, we are good. It's just, I can't see. And Nate Gerry is way too small. And look, I like Alex Singleton, obviously, from the CFL. But he's small, too. The Eagles don't have big linebackers anymore. My problem with Nate Gerry is he's always lost. He's never where he's supposed to be. I mean, if he was a small guy, and was where he was supposed to be, and at least you saw some kind of effort, and that he just sucked because he was little for the position. It's one thing, but he's never where he's supposed to be, ever. I mean, every now and then he'll get lucky with a tackle. It's just I can't. It's hard to take. And then other Eagle fans feel the same way I do. They went back, looked through his tweets, because I don't understand how these professional athletes don't understand that once you're in this national limelight or even local limelight, you should probably go back and check things that you've put on your social media when you were younger. Nate Gerry didn't do that. There were tweets that were found that were insensitive. He was saying the N-word. Really just stupid stuff from him. He apologized, saying he was disgusted and all this, but it's like, dude, are you like, what is wrong with you? Like, what do you understand? First off, it's never right to talk like that, ever. But especially the climate that we're in. Go back and check your stuff. I mean, it makes the team look bad. He already looks bad on the field. Now he looks bad as a human being as well. And if I'm the Eagles, man, look, I'm not just trying to sit here and be a snowflake, but they got to take some kind of action, man. If this guy's starting on Sunday, there's a problem. And again, not just for the tweets, but because he can't play. I mean, what do you have to lose by putting Sean Bradley in there? What do you have to lose? I was talking yesterday, for those of you that didn't see it in my last video, the Eagles bring back Dante Olson. Now, in the offseason, I heard a lot of fans saying a lot of really good things about this kid. I looked him up. Was a tackle machine. Again, I think a little bit undersized for the position. But I can't trust Doug has relinquished play calling Marty Morningwig. Marty Morningwig is definitely not the answer. I've never had a worse taste in my mouth than when they brought him back. I mean, that just is mind-boggling to me. Yeah, definitely not the answer. I agree with that. But these Eagles linebackers, man, so I can't trust their decision-making when it comes to these linebackers. I can't. Ken Flagel, the linebacker coach, apparently he thinks he treats Nate Gerry like he's a son to him. They let go of LJ Fort, who, I mean, just look at LJ Fort in Baltimore. Within 5 games, he had an extension from them. And this is a guy that we let go. And another guy who, when the Eagles signed him, he was a free agent from Pittsburgh, and the Eagles signed him, I heard nothing but great things. Oh, what an underrated free agent move, blah, blah, blah. And what happens? They let him go. It's just, I can't trust her. So maybe Dante Olson is good. Maybe Sean Bradley should be playing. Do you guys realize that, and my numbers may be a little bit wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is accurate. There were 16 linebackers drafted in the first. There were 16 linebackers drafted. I want to say the first 3 rounds, but that doesn't sound right. But out of the 16 linebackers drafted this year, the only linebacker not to register a sack so far, Desean Taylor. It's insane. It's crazy. It's linebacker is not a position that the Eagles had a shitload of linebackers at. You know what I mean? Where, okay, Desean Taylor doesn't get a tackle because there's so many other great players in front of him. Yeah, we are. We're a top 5 defense. And again, they played the Bengals and the Washington football team for 2 of those games. And a backup quarterback in San Francisco. I'm not taking anything away from what the defensive line has done the past 2 weeks. I think they are showing more promise than any other part of our team. Carson has struggled. And again, I come into this, and part of wanting to rant is because I've always been a Carson Wentz guy, so I know what I say. It's just going to be looked at as, oh, he's a Carson Wentz guy. That's why he's always going to have his back. I'm telling you, Carson Wentz played bad. Last week was better. The first 3 weeks of the season, he's played poorly. He hasn't looked good. Bad decisions, bad interceptions. I get it. However, how can we just keep expecting this guy to play elite football with what is around him? It's hard for me to do, when you've got Travis Fulgham. And again, I don't know what he's going to be. I do know that he was a 6th-round pick from Detroit that got cut, that was put on Green Bay's practice squad, or maybe was it Seattle's? I don't remember. The Eagles pick him up, and now he's catching touchdown passes from Carson Wentz. I know that. That's what he has to throw to. Travis Fulgham, Deontay Burnett. Greg Ward, I think, is a solid football player. I think Greg Ward is a good wide receiver. The guy was a quarterback in college. Hasn't passed, not one pass for the Eagles. Not one trick play out of Greg Ward. That's a whole nother video. John Hightower, late round pick, rookie, being asked to make big plays. 4th and 4, caught that pass. I mean, Carson had a makeshift offensive line. I mean, let's talk about the offensive line too. However, we just expect this guy to be, and again, and he's making $100 million. So fans have the absolute right to expect greatness from this dude. But all I'm saying is, it is so tough when you see what he has. You go into this, and I'm going to bring this up in a separate video later. I didn't really even want to bring it up right now, but screw it. The rant's going, and I can't stop it. You talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. You talk about Ben Roethlisberger. Carson Wentz and Roethlisberger were compared to each other early on in Carson's career. I remember that game in 2016 where the Eagles beat the Steelers. And I remember Roethlisberger saying, I sees a little bit of himself in Carson. Do you guys understand what Ben Roethlisberger has had to throw to since he's been in the league? I mean, oh God. Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, who we're going to see a lot of. I mean, the running backs, Le'Veon Bell, James Conner, like, this dude has had Heath Miller. I mean, he's had good targets, great wide receivers. The Pittsburgh Steelers built a great team around Ben Roethlisberger. What has Carson Wentz had to throw to? Has Carson Wentz ever had a wide receiver like Hines Ward to throw to? Has he ever had an Antonio Brown type wide receiver to throw to? As Antonio Holmes, Juju Smith-Schuster? No. That's no. The Eagles cannot draft. We've talked about this. This goes back to Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman and they have just not built this team, man. They haven't. I don't understand it. I mean, you look at, like, DK Metcalf, yes, regurgitation. I'm going to just keep on talking about this. How do you look at him? Just look at him. And pick JJ Arcega-Whiteside, who looks like a history teacher, against DJ Metcalf that looks like TO 2.0. How do you do that as a gentleman? And we're fans, right? I'm sitting outside of the gym, getting ready to go, and I'm a fan, talking to other fans. This is what we do. And I love this platform and being able to do this. But if we can see it, how come these guys making so much more money don't see it? I don't get it. I just don't understand the one of the greatest running back drafts in recent history. How the Eagles don't go after Alvin Kamara. They don't go after Dalvin Cook. Maybe they tried to trade up for him. I don't know, but they didn't get him. James Conner, who, again, our linebackers are going to get trampled by Sunday, could have had him, but yet we say, nah, let's get Donnell Pumphrey instead. Donnell Pumphrey. I'm 5'6", 190 pounds. I am bigger than Donnell Pumphrey. If Donnell Pumphrey runs at me, I'm going to drop him on his ass. But the management of the Philadelphia Eagles, Joe Douglas, who everybody apparently, look what he's doing in New York with the Jets. I mean, 2017, as far as putting that roster together, I don't know who did it, but it's hard to believe it was him or Howie Roseman at this point. It's just terrible. It is terrible. And it's like, it frustrates me more each week because, especially doing this channel, I really, before the Steelers game, I look at what the Steelers got. I watch parts of Steelers games, and it's like, man, even right now, they have so much more than we do. Yeah, exactly. They don't get the obvious talent. And it's like they try to outsmart everybody. And it doesn't work. It's just, it goes back to Andy Reid days, the Billy McMullins, the Reggie Browns, you know, but and it's weird because now that Andy's in Kansas City, he can draft wide receivers all of a sudden. It's nuts. But it's just, but outside of Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin, I mean, what wide receiver have the Eagles really drafted that has been like great? Jason Avant was solid, but scared to pay talent. You're right. They absolutely, Eagles are absolutely. They do not want to. And again, this is, it's time. Look, 2017 was great. It's something we'll always remember. There will always be a soft spot for that entire team, front to bottom, or top to bottom, I should say. But Howie, it's time to go. It is time to go. You mentioned earlier about Nate Gerry is on the field because he runs a 4.5. This dude, he could be the Flash, but he doesn't know where to be. I mean, it's crazy. It's nuts. The Eagles are a team that, I mean, guys do bad stuff, and I looked at, and this is a completely different situation, but you look at the San Francisco game. Nick Mullins was playing bad after that horrible interception to Alex Singleton. Kyle Shanahan says, "That's it. You're benched. Done." CJ Beathard, CJ Beathard's a nothing in the league. Let's be honest. He goes in. Do you think that Doug Peterson would have pulled his quarterback who was playing horrible? No, he wouldn't. And this is Shanahan coming off of a Super Bowl. And look, I don't think much of Kyle Shanahan because he blew leads in Atlanta in the Super Bowl and he blew one last year. But these teams know well enough when guys are not playing well to take them out. I mean, you look at the Bears and our boy Nick Foles, Mitch Trubisky, just looking like shit. And this is a team that was undefeated at the time. They throw Nick Foles in there, and look, he didn't have a great statistical game yesterday, but he won the game. He brought him back the game before against the Atlanta Falcons. Other coaches know to do this. Now, I'm not talking about Carson Wentz. I'm not talking about pulling Carson Wentz because, again, the stuff he has to throw to, even Nick Foles in Chicago has better weapons in Anthony Miller and Allen Robinson than Carson Wentz has here. I'm talking about just these other players. Jason Peters getting absolutely thrown around. You got a franchise quarterback making $100 million. Everybody's on his back already. And Jason Peters is just letting more people get on his back because he's not blocking anyone. You don't take him out of the game. And I know people are going, Chris, it sounds crazy to pull your left tackle. Well, you just let Carson keep getting killed? Now, Jason Peters goes on the IR. You got Jordan Mailata that comes in. Bless his heart. It does a better job against, and it's not like he was playing against trash. He wasn't playing against the best that San Francisco had to offer because they were injured. But, I mean, he was playing against guys that know how to play defense on the defensive line, and he stood pretty tall. Now, this week will be a different, might be a different story because the talent level, it goes up significantly when you're talking about TJ Watt, when you're talking about Bud Dupree. But it's mind-numbing to me. It is mind-numbing how Adrian Killins gets on the field before an Elijah Holyfield. It's mind-numbing to me that Miles Sanders, for the second game in a row, isn't on the field in the most important drive at the end of the game. And then Doug Peterson says it has nothing to do with fatigue or injury. It's the game plan and the situation. Look, if Corey Clement in a absolute dire situation where you're trying to keep the lead and get time off the clock, if Corey Clement, who hasn't done anything, who's as big as a house right now, is not explosive, if that's your game plan, then, dude, what you have to, I mean, there's bigger problems here. Maybe you do need to relinquish play calling. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. It really is. Now, do I think they have a chance against Pittsburgh? Yeah, I do. I maybe I'm so angry because I was forced to shave the beard. And I never really had a beard. just throughout my adult life. During COVID, I decided to grow a little one, kind of got attached to it. I had a ceremony that I had to attend yesterday, so I went ahead and got rid of it, and now I'm just miserable. Uh, so maybe that has something to do with my madness. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, the whole thing. The more people I can get in this little community, the better. The more people I can hear these insane rants, these pre-workout rants, the better. I think we have every right to rant about this team, even coming off of a win. It's just nuts. So the wide receivers this week we're looking at with Alshon and Desean out, and I get it. I know some guys are going, look, they're old. Even if they were active, they probably wouldn't be on the field all that much. The thing with Desean is he adds a speed element. You can only hope that Quez Watkins is able to play because he can stretch the field too, even though he is a rookie. People see him flying down the field. They got to pay attention to him. You're looking at Travis Fulgham again, Deontay Burnett, John Hightower, Greg Ward. Zach Ertz has to do more than he's done. I feel like since this contract stuff with Ertz has came up, he just has checked out. It almost seems like, you lose Dallas Goedert. And another thing about Dallas Goedert, everybody was throwing all their eggs in the Dallas Goedert basket. He's been hurt the past couple years. He has been. There have been games he's missed. He's just not very durable. It just doesn't seem like a lot of Eagles players, or just this year in general, guys are getting banged up all across the league. I understand it. But, you look at the Steelers injury report throughout the week. It looked like Joe Hayden wasn't going to play. It looked like TJ Watt wasn't going to play. It looked like Juju might sit out. All their players, when it comes down to it, and it comes to the final day of practice, they end up fully practicing. Not the Eagles, man. Our guys go in reverse. Our guys practice the whole week and then are ruled out. Think about that. Our guys practice all week, and then are ruled out on a Friday. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. And Howie Roseman signs Alshon to that contract. So no GM in the NFL is stupid enough to trade for Alshon Jeffrey right now. Why would you? Guy can't get on the field. So yeah, I'm very curious, guys, what you think about the Nate Gerry situation. Should he be disciplined by the Philadelphia Eagles, not just for being a horrible linebacker, but for those tweets from 2011 and 2012? Again, you're not going to hear that stuff coming out of my mouth that he said. Google's a beautiful thing. Just Google it or search it on Twitter if you don't know exactly what he said. What's up, Jamal Marshall? We're just ranting, man. We are just ranting here about a lot of different things. Eagles injuries, as always. How our wide receivers practice the whole week and then are ruled out on Friday. Expectations for Wentz. I feel the need to possibly rant on the Tennessee Titans and why they have 89 guys positive for COVID-19, which is putting this season in jeopardy. The fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have 5,500 fans, which I'm fine with, but I wonder why the Eagles or the mayor of Philadelphia hasn't announced anything for Eagle games. It'd be good to get some fans in our stadium. It's just a lot, man. There's a lot. As a Philadelphia fan right now, guys, and I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm a 4 for 4. I like all the teams. To watch, even though the Heat are getting beat in the finals, to watch Jimmy Butler there is tough. And I love Jimmy Butler. I thought he was great here and wanted him to get re-signed. The management there failed on that. To watch the Phillies get rid of Andy McPhail but keep everybody else. And, teams like the Marlins, even though they just got swept in the playoffs, or the Braves, it's just tough times for us, man. It's tough. And we live and die on the Eagles. We always have. Philadelphia is a football town. Even when the Phillies were great, it's still we live and die on these Eagles. Our weeks are determined by what the Eagles do on Sunday. And hopefully this Sunday is as good as last Sunday was. I hope that for some miracle. Look, and I'm going to do a review. I'm going to do a preview video in a couple days. But I think the only way that the Eagles get a victory, if they can, Sunday against the Steelers is the defensive line. The Steelers have a great defensive line, and we have a great defensive line. Whichever one is better, that team's going to win the game. Javon Hargrave came from Pittsburgh last year. He's going to have a little extra something to his game. And, this group of defensive ends and defensive tackles are not that bad, man. They're not. I think that we have a good chance. First time the Eagles see a 3-4, that'll be something to look out for. But hopefully they can get out of this game without any major injuries. It seems like every game we have one. TJ Edwards was just starting to look like he was a decent linebacker, and he goes out. I don't. Gravedigger's going to show out. Yeah, Hargrave, I mean, he is starting to get healthier. Every week he's getting healthier. Every week his endurance is getting better. We always bitch about preseason games in the past. Preseason's too long. It's worthless watching preseason. Guys that are going to be working at Walmart or playing on the field. But the players feel it not getting that preseason. I think they feel it. And now you look into week 5, guys are just starting to get into their into football shape, as crazy as that sounds. And I think Javon Hargrave is one of those. Obviously, he had that injury during the offseason. But I like him. I like Malik Jackson. Malik Jackson, 97 and 93 were all over your TV screen Sunday night. They were causing havoc. Fletch is hurt, apparently. He practiced fully this week, but he's got some ab issues that he's dealing with. And I do too, which I'm about to go handle inside this gym in a couple minutes, guys. We are at 26 minutes. Keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that subscribe button, guys. I really want to up that number. I'm a very goal-oriented guy. And I hit that 1,000 goal before the season. I'm at 1,200 right now. Let's get to 1,500. Why not? And see, as we talk about everything here on Eagles News Now, not just the Eagles, all the NFL. And before I end, man, I'll tell you what. Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the best quarterback probably to play. Let's be honest. He's also the biggest crybaby I've ever seen wear an NFL jersey. This guy, it's almost funny at this point. If you haven't seen it already, or if you don't know, Nick Foles once again defeated Tom Brady as the Bears beat, I think it was 20-17 last night. I could be a little off on that. But Nick Foles, his team beat Tom Brady's team again. And they've got a great clip of Nick obviously looking for Tom, waiting for Tom to come up to do the whole handshake thing. And then they pan over and Brady's just running to the tunnel. He didn't shake Nick's hand at the Super Bowl. He didn't do it once again. I hear people using COVID as an excuse, even though the week before Brady went up after the Bucs beat the Chargers and got close and shook Justin Herbert's hand. I don't get it. I don't understand, man. Everything he's accomplished, to just not go up and shake this man's hand is just insane. I read a report, I think it was from Adam Schefter, that he was in the locker room throwing his helmet around, yelling at people that they should have told him when 4th down was. And one of the players yelled back, "You don't have Belichick to cover for your butt anymore." I don't get it, man. Nick Foles does it again. I love the guy. I love watching him. Do you think Fletcher is worth the money getting paid these days? In fact, about Tom Brady, the GOAT. Yeah, Tom Brady gets in his feelings. Like I said, I can't take away his talent or what he does on the field because the guy is amazing, especially for his age. Is Fletcher worth the money right now? No. But who is worth over $100 million if you really think about it? Fletcher has just played injured the past couple years. But he's got to turn it up, man. If you can get Fletcher Cox. Look, the Fletcher Cox that got his contract was absolutely worth it, the contract. The Fletcher Cox we see now, not so much, man. And I hope that changes because when he is on point, he's an absolute game changer. If you have Fletch at his best, just think about that line and the things that line can do. I mean, it's scary. I mean, they can take over a game. That is, and I've been saying it for weeks, the line has got to carry this team. Our offensive line is going to struggle. Our offense is going to struggle. You got big play Slay, who I don't care. Dude, I watch a lot of football. Darius Slay looks like the best cornerback in football right now. I'm just saying, the guy, he's plays his heart out. He plays his ass off. Guys can't. You look at the wide receivers that he's faced; they don't do anything when they go up against him. He's probably the most important part of our defense right now. You've got him back there in that secondary. You got Mills now as your other corner, which I think is better. Maddox is just not an outside cornerback. I love the dude, but he's just not. Mills is back where he belongs. Keep him away from the got to work on the double move. And then, you put a Kayvon Wallace, a rookie, in at safety. Make him go forward. Have him rush. That's what he's good at. You got Rodney McLeod back there. So your secondary is set. Linebackers suck. You're going to have to make up for that. Your linebackers absolutely suck. There's nothing we can do. But the line, if you get a lot of pressure, especially on a guy like Roethlisberger gets the ball out quick. So you got to be, and again, I don't want to go too much into this, as I wanted to make this a 30-minute thing. But he gets the ball out quick. So, but if you hit him, if you throw off his timing, and I guess you could say this about any quarterback, but definitely Roethlisberger, as soon as you start hitting that guy, man, he is just, and that's what they got to do. That's absolutely what they got to do. So we'll see Sunday, guys. Hey, man, thanks, everybody, for checking me out. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm about to go get this workout in as it's starting to get a little dark outside, and I think I've gotten a lot of the ranting out today. Stay tuned. There's going to be an Angry Allen video up probably tomorrow, if not tonight. More content during the weekend, of course, as we move into a really big game against the Steelers. I mean, if the Eagles can somehow steal this one, they will be in good shape. We all know the Cowboys are facing the Giants, who might be the worst team in the league. Jay says, everyone says Cox gets double teamed. Aaron Donald always gets double teamed. Yeah, well, Aaron Donald does good against other teams, just not us. But yeah, you're right. But Cox is not seeing as much as the double teams anymore with like I said, with the talent. Who do you double team on that line? Hargrave, you can't disrespect Hargrave. You can't disrespect Jackson at this point. And then your ends, man. These ends, if you can get what you saw from Gennard Avery, if you can get that consistently, go back, search for my video when they traded for Gennard Avery. I was excited. Man, Zach Caron, I'm about to get off. Get off of here, not, but I was excited about Gennard Avery, and a lot of Bengals fans were pissed off that, was it Bengals or Browns? He was a Bengal. That they got rid of him because apparently he didn't get along with the defensive coach or whatever. They were mad that they got rid of Avery, and, you didn't see anything out of him last year. This year, until last game, he didn't do much, but he looked like the guy that they gave up a 4th-round pick for. If you can get that consistently, get Josh Sweat in there. Even Derek Barnett looked decent last week. Man, if you can get all that stuff, all those guys turning, you got Vinny Curry. I don't know if they're going to activate him off that 21-day window, but he was practicing this week. You get him involved. I mean, you have a lot of great pieces on that line. Hassan Ridgeway is even decent as a backup. But that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me. I got to get off here and get this workout in. I will be back a little bit later. I will see you guys. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Go Birds. Thanks for tuning in to the rant. Hopefully the beard grows in a little bit quicker. And I'll see you guys later.